Hey family, quick check-in with some hard talk. If this video hits home, here's how you can help carry the message further. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Pass it on to someone who's in a fight, someone who's been down but not out. Let's remind the world that our God has always used underdogs. Thanks for tuning in. Your support means the world to me. Here we go. A few minutes for us, underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. Ever thought your struggles might be setting you up and not shutting you down? What if every delay, disappointment, or detour was God designing a bigger, better breakthrough for you? My name is Tony Lewis, and here I am again, y'all. And it's my plum-pleasing pleasure, as usual, to share with you today a few minutes for us. The U is for underdogs, and the S is for strugglers in the Bible. Today, we will give you a snapshot of a scriptural character, the story in a picture, the struggle principle, the success principle, and the lesson to practice. You know, we got to do something. You always say that, of underdogs and strugglers in the Bible. Let me tell you about the 26th biblical character we will look at today. Is Jabez. Jabez, a prayer that pushed past pain. A prayer that pushed past pain. His story is in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. He was born with a burden. His mom named him Jabez, which meant pain, because his birth caused sorrow. He was brave to believe, and even with sad name, he believed God could bless him. He was blessed with boldness and bold to beg. He prayed a big prayer, y'all. Asked God for more. He dared to talk to God about his future. He believed in a big God and trusted that the Lord could change his story. Check it out. Let me tell you about this brother's struggle. He went from pain to possibility. From pain to possibility. He was labeled with loss and limitation. His name reminded him of trouble, and people saw him through the name pain. That ain't right. And he lived a low expectation. His life began with shadow over it. He longed for liberation and love. He wanted freedom from what held him back. He wanted God's help to change his life. Let me tell you about his success. God turned pain into power. God turned pain into power. Oh my God. He prayed with passion. He asked God bless him indeed. And he pursued God's protection. He asked for God's hand to be with him. He was protected by power. And he asked for God's hand to guide him and guard him. He pushed past his problems. And God granted his request and changed his destiny. He prospered with purpose, and God answered and gave him more than he ever imagined. His prayer produced promotion. But what's the lesson? What's the lesson? God enlarges our lives when we call on him with humble hearts. God enlarges our lives when we call on him with humble hearts. Remember, when you struggle like Jabez, and you are labeled as a loser, a failure, a broke bum, not enough. When you're labeled with limitation and people see you through your problems and not your potential. When you're living in low expectation and told to stay in your lane, my God, don't dream, don't think big or accept less. When you're longing for liberation and deep down, you want freedom from debt, depression, disappointment, and destructive cycles. Remember, when you succeed like Jabez, when you've prayed with passion and bold prayers for breakthrough, for your family, finances, and your future is good. When you pursue God's protection and you experience God's hand of guidance at work, and He has given you wisdom in your choices and safety in your steps. Lord have mercy. When you've been protected by His power and His Spirit has shielded you from traps and trials and toxic situations. When you've pushed past your pain of past rejection, regret, and roadblocks. Let me say that again. When you push past your pain of past rejection, regret, and roadblocks, and when you've prospered with purpose, and God has enlarged our opportunities and expands our influence and elevates us because we've trusted Him. When your prayer has produced promotion from a bad background to a beautiful blessing. My God, that's good. Remember the lesson. God enlarges our lives when we call on Him with humble hearts. God enlarges our lives when we call on Him with humble hearts. To God be the glory. I'm out, y'all. Huh?